Hello, today I will be showing you how I make a sunset passion fruit body scrub. I'm going to start by, this has already been sanitized for time's sake. I always use these little mats because once I finish, they are disposable. I can just throw them away. And it also helps with making sure the area is really clean. And it's also absorbent, so whatever goes in here is going to absorb it if I happen to make a mess. We're going to start with the whipped soap base, which this I actually make myself. You will also need sugar. I like to mix raw cane sugar and granulated sugar. You can either use one or the other or mix them as you please. I happen to prefer to use both, as the raw cane sugar is going to give you a little bit more exfoliation than the regular granulated sugar. As you can see up close, this one is a little bit more coarse than the granulated sugar, which is more fine. I also will be using some glycerin. This will act as a humectant, which draws moisture to your skin. Being that this is a product that you use in the shower, or you can use it outside of the shower if you like, but most people will be using it in the shower, so this will help to keep in that moisture. And then I also will be using some jojoba oil, and this is one of my favorites because it's going to be an oil that is light but also closest to your skin's natural oil that it produces. And I've also weighed out my fragrance oil. I'm only making a small 4 ounce of this, so that's why these proportions are very small. I'm not even going to use my mixer because this is too small to put in a mixer, so I'm just going to use my actually I think I'll just use my stick blender and put in the whisk attachment. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to set these items aside that I will not be using right now. Alright. I have this little mat that I will be applying here. This is a one of those mats you use when you have a hot product. You just put it on top to kind of absorb some of the heat. And it helps for my bowl to not really move around because it's rubber. So I'm just going to place the bowl on top. I'm going to use my handy dandy spatula to scrape the whipped soap in. I did used to purchase this from 2 different vendors, and I actually started just making it myself. And I will have a video soon showing how I make the whipped soap. Now I have my stick blender. I need to get this plugged in, and then it'll be ready to use. This bowl probably should have been a little bit bigger, but it'll get the job done. that this is a small, really small size that I'm making, I'm not going to need that much product. And it's not gonna all take that long to whip because it's not that much. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here. This is pretty much whipped to my liking. So what I'm going to do next is go ahead and add in my oils. Here we have our glycerin. And actually, I'm going to get my I love these. They are flexible and it allows me to get, like, when I have an oil or liquid, I'm just able to not leave a bunch of product in the container that I was using to weigh it in. So I love these little flexible spatulas. And they come in, some of them, I have a lot of them, some of them have a longer tip. And then next I'm going to put in the jojoba oil, which this is not as thick as the glycerin, so this is a little easier to get out. And then next I have the fragrance. So I'm going to add that. then I'm just going to fold well. Since it's not that much in here, it's a little bit difficult to fold it. Well, I wouldn't say difficult, but folding is not the proper term to use. And what I'm doing is just trying to keep this mixed in a little bit so that when I go to use the whisk, all the oils are not flying all over the place. Alright, now this is pretty much done. This does have, well, I'm going to say 2 colors because one of them I just leave it in the original color that it is. And then I have 2 colors. I'm going to split this into 3 after I mix in the sugar. So I'm just going to set this aside for right now. And then I have some product on the whisk. So I'm just going to put the whisk in here. I just need some of the product. The soap, whipped soap came off, and it's in here. And then whatever little pieces that is on the whisk, I try to get as much of it off. The sugar off of the whisk. All right, so now the only thing that needs to be done prior to adding the color, I'm just going to dump this sugar right into the whipped soap. put a little bit, like I said, it's 3 different colors. Really 2 that actually has an added color to it. And the other one, I just leave it in its original color that it is in. So I'm just going to separate this. Into 3. And I'm going to add a little bit of mica to get the first color. So I'm going to set the other 2 to the side. And what you want to make sure to do if you're using mica powder and you don't mix it in with your liquid, you have to make sure that it is thoroughly mixed. Like you see when I flip that over, you see these dark colors. You don't want to have color streaks. And I actually need a little bit more color. Okay, so you see all those streaks of color? We don't want that. So it's almost like you're taking this and just pushing the color in, really. Okay. This looks thoroughly mixed to me. I'm no longer getting any streaks of color when I flip it over. Yeah, no more streaks of color. So this is good to go. And this is the actual orange color that I put in here. I'm not sure. I don't think the color is picking up on here too accurately on camera. But this is the actual orange mica powder that I used. Okay, so this is the next color. This is going to be a yellow color. This, I'm just going to put in a liquid color. I'm going to start with 1 drop. And we're just going to do the same thing. I'm going to just mix in the color. And you're just going to keep doing that until you get no streaks of color. Like there's a streak of color up there, over here, on the bottom. So we're just going to keep flipping it and pushing the color in. Okay, looks like this one is almost ready. I think the colors look a little bit off on camera, but that's okay. This is not a bold color. And it looks like it's thoroughly mixed. I do want to make sure to tell you all that whenever you're making product and you're adding a colorant, you want to always make sure that whatever you're adding is body safe. If it's something that's going to be used on a body. Not all micas or liquid colorant is body safe. So you want to make sure that wherever you're using, I typically advise against getting colors from Amazon, because those colors, they can say whatever on there and you have no guarantee that they're actually body safe. Whereas if you get them from a vendor or manufacturer, I will say some of the people on Amazon, they are truthful in what their product is able to be used in, and then there are some that are not. So just do your research and make sure that if you're using the color in a product that's going to be used in the body, that is actually body safe. Again, not all micas or liquid colorant is body safe. Okay, so this is done. So we have our orange, our yellow, and then the original color that it was. Again, I'm only making a small little batch. So I'm going to move these. I'm going to move my little mat. It has a little bit of sugar on here. This is only a small batch, so I got my little 12-inch piping bag. I'm going to use my smaller tip. This is the 6B, I believe, or 8B, let's see. It's 6B. 6B tip. And then, of course, I have my press and seal. I'm going to show you how I use that. here I have a small piece of press and seal since I do not have a large batch. I only need a little small. A little small piece. Alright. So I'm just going to take the yellow. Stick it to my gloves. I still have a little bit on the back of here. So I'm just going to put it there. Then I'm going to put the white in the middle. Typically, I don't use the white. I use less of it than the color. And then I'm just going to spread this out. Then I'm going to take the orange. Okay, so what we're going to do is just put this together. Okay, so we have our yellow, our white, and then our orange. Now it is time to prepare the bag. We're just going to open this up, drop the tip inside, cut off extra, push it down to where you can no longer push without breaking, of course. You don't want to rip the bag. Going to cut the end off, one end. take your jar, drop your mix into the bag.